Hello everyone, welcome to Jets TV. Please comment, rate, subscribe guys, comment, rate, subscribe, like the videos. Also share the videos as well, man. I want to thank everyone that does watch and share my videos. You folks are the absolute best. So without further ado guys, let's go ahead and get into my week 16 picks. I'm so excited, man. NFL football is back, it's back, and I'm ready to talk to you guys about it. Wait a minute, guys. Wait a minute. You guys keep me honest, man. You guys gotta let me know. You tell me every single time. I always almost forget. I need to talk about my week 15 recap before I get into my week 16 picks. I need to talk about what happened in week 15 with my picks, guys. So let's go ahead and get into my week 15 recap really quickly. First game I covered, Pats at Steelers. Took the Steelers in that football game. I got myself a loss, man. Pats beat the Steelers 27-24, man. Patriots just keep fighting. They never give up, and they find ways to win, man. They just do it. They just absolutely do it, and that's what happened in this football game. So shout out to Pats fans, man. You guys got yourselves a win. I took the Steelers. I got myself a loss. Next game I covered, Packers at Panthers. Took the Panthers in this football game. Got myself a W, guys. Panthers beat the Packers 31-24. Shout out to Panthers fans. You guys got yourselves a win. I took the Panthers as well. I got myself a W as well. And last but not least, guys, the best game of the week, the Jets game. Jets at Saints. Took the Saints in this football game. Sadly, as a Jets fan, I got myself a W. Saints beat the Jets 31-19, man. Saints, just keep on rolling. The Jets defense showed up. They played well. They got some turnovers. They gave the Jets offense opportunities. But Bryce Petty and his offense just couldn't cash in, man. The offensive line, there's a lot of pressure on Petty. Cam Jordan was just knocking down a lot of passes. We just couldn't get into the end zone when we needed to. And if you keep giving the Saints opportunities offensively to score, that's the name of their game, man. They will take the game away every single time if you allow them to do that, and they'll put the ball in the end zone eventually. So they made plays, man. Ingram, Kamara, Thomas, that wide receiver they have, he is excellent. He found his way into the end zone as well. So it was what it was. So Saints fans, you guys, congratulations. Got yourselves a W. I took the Saints as well. Sadly, as a Jets fan, I got myself a W as well. So it is what it is. So now listen, guys. It's week 16. I want to talk about it. Week 15, that is in the past, guys. It's done. Whatever happened in week 15 is done. It is in the past. It is over. We are now moving on to week 16, and I'm ready to talk about my week 16 picks. So let's go ahead and get right into it, all right? First game on the cover, Dolphins at Chiefs. Man, listen, this matchup right here, playoff implication. These two teams are fighting. They're in the hunt. They're trying to, get these W's and see where they'll end up at the end of the day. Where will they end up in this playoff chase? There's a lot of things that, could go a lot of different ways, but they're trying to get these W's so at the end of the day, they're at that door knocking, saying, hey, are you going to let me in? All right. Well, let's talk about the Chiefs side of the ball first. Look, we all know the Chiefs have kind of gone back to what worked for them, early in the season, which was getting Kareem Hunt the football. You get this guy to football, things happen. Things open up elsewhere. Guess what? You're going against the Dolphins front. That is tough. Can the Chiefs just play smash mouth football and run against this Dolphins front? I don't know, man. Sue is a tough defensive lineman. He's one of the best defensive linemen in this entire league. The Dolphins have a very good, especially their interior defensive line is very solid, man. I don't know if the Chiefs can handle this. They're going to have to show that. I also like to see them continue to get Tyreek Hill the football. This is a guy that is explosive wide receiver, man. You get him the ball, volatile. He just makes things happen, okay? He explodes on defenses all the time. But again, I want to see if the Chiefs can line up and run the football on the Dolphins hard. They've got to, make that a sticking point. And then I think other things will work off of that as well. You look at the Dolphins side of the ball. Look, Adam Gase, offensive guy, things are going to run around. But I want to see if this Dolphins coaching staff will be able to keep up with the genius of Andy Reid. I want to see how this Dolphins coaching staff kind of, gets into the mode of making the adjustments to whatever Reid is doing out there. We all know If the running game is not working for Andy Reid, he has a myriad of other things he likes to use. We've seen wide receiver screens, we've seen bubble screens, we've seen, all type of end arounds. We've seen handoffs to wide receivers. We've seen, all types of different stuff that Andy Reid loves to do. Misdirections, counters, all that types of stuff. Where he basically puts your defensive players into moments where they have to think. And the second they start thinking, boom, they're gone. The Chiefs are gone, and they're running past them, and they're trying to get a score. I want to see if the Dolphins are going to be able to, this Dolphins coaching staff, is going to be able to really get these players ready. While they're on the field, while things are going on, see if they can get these players to go, hey, this is what's happening, this was happening, this was happening, and make adjustments so that they don't end up being caught out there like looking like chickens, running around like chickens with their heads cut off, man. Because I'm telling you, Andy Reid does that to so many defenses where he just puts them in positions where they have to think and just absolutely abuses them after that. So that's my question for the Dolphins. I think this coaching staff for the Dolphins is definitely going to be tested in this football game. So with all that said, I am taking the Kansas City Chiefs to win this football game, 28-23. I think it's going to be close, man. I think the Dolphins are definitely going to fight, but I think the Chiefs just take it away late. So again, I am taking the Kansas City Chiefs to win this football game. Next game I want to cover, Seahawks at Cowboys, man. Woo. This is another game that has heavy playoff implications. Again, these are two teams that are fighting. They're in the hunt. They're trying to make things happen. So at the end of the day, they're right there saying, hey, can we get in this thing? Can we fight? Can we get to the next level here? Can we keep pushing to try to win a Super Bowl? Who knows, all right? But they're doing what they can do so they can be right on the cusp, right at the door, trying to knock to get into the playoffs. Look, I want to talk about the Cowboys first. Tyron Smith dealing with a knee injury. Okay, I want to talk about that first. Hyperextended it against Oakland. I'm hoping he does play, because if he doesn't, we have all seen what the Cowboys offense kind of looks like without him. It's not good. It is not good. So that is one thing we're looking at. He's questionable right now, still trying to figure things out. Next thing on the Cowboys agenda, listen, Cowboys fans, rejoice. All right? Ezekiel Elliott is back. Okay? He is back. He is back. He is back. And I absolutely feel really bad for the rest of these teams that are about to play them going on down the stretch. Because, listen, he is going to be running with an anger I don't think any of us have ever seen in our entire lives. He's going to be running like a man on fire. Ezekiel Elliott right now is a ball of emotion. And I know for a fact he is going to be fired up when it's time to play the Seahawks, all right? This is in Dallas as well. That entire atmosphere is just going to, I'm telling you, it's going to be a ball of emotion. The Cowboys as a team are going to be a ball of emotion. The Cowboys franchise feels like Ezekiel Elliott, was unjustly suspended. Ezekiel Elliott himself feels like he's unjustly suspended. The entire, city feels like he's unjustly suspended. They just feel like the NFL tried to take Ezekiel Elliott away from them and just absolutely, jack up their season, screw up their season. This entire place is going to be electric, all right? And Ezekiel Elliott is just going to unleash on anything and everything in his way to the end zone, okay? So I'm telling you, I'm going to be fired up to watch this, because the Cowboys are going to be, this is going to be prime time unlike any other, all right? And Ezekiel Elliott is ready to put on a show. You look at the Seahawks side of the ball, they've been hit with a lot of injuries. This injured reserve list for them, this IR list is really filling up, all right? Sherman's on IR. Cliff Avrill's on IR. Cam Chancellor's now on IR. You look at the guys that are hurt there, that are trying to play. Michael Bennett's dealing with a knee injury. Bobby Wagner, he's dealing with a hamstring injury. He's, going to play as well, but that hamstring injury definitely is going to hamper his play, and those hamstring injuries also linger. You look at the Seahawks, man, they're going into Dallas again with this ball of emotion. I'm wondering if the Seahawks can withstand what is coming and what they have waiting for them there in that Dallas stadium, man. Oh, man, what they're walking into, especially with the hits that this defense is taking. I think this is a game where we might have to see the Seahawks offense kind of lead the way. Can Russell Wilson attack this Dallas defense that does, is vulnerable? Let's not play any games here. Dallas's defense is vulnerable. So I want to see Russell Wilson go out there and just attack them. I know that the offensive line of the Seahawks has some issues, especially protecting him from time to time. But if they can hold up a bit, I think he'll be able to take his shots. But again, it is going to be electric there in Dallas. And maybe that defense picks up and starts to ride off of some of that emotion and plays maybe a bit above their heads because Zeke is back, and we're just going to take out our anger on everybody. I mean, I'm telling you, this Dallas offense is definitely going to look different as well with Zeke back in the lineup. We've all seen that. So, with all that said, man, I'm taking the Cowboys to win this football game. I don't know. I just feel like Zeke being back and just the emotion, the electricity, and how everybody's fired up. Even Cowboys fans are just beside themselves this week. I am taking the Cowboys to win this game 27-20, man. I think Zeke really has probably a 2-touchdown day and just absolutely lift this offense and put him on his back for the day, and everyone just coasts and rides off of that as well. I think Seahawks will definitely fight, and they'll be in it. But again, I am taking the Cowboys to win the game 27-20. Last but not least, guys, my favorite game, your favorite game, our favorite game, the Jets game, baby. Let's go ahead and get into it. Chargers at Jets. Woo, man, listen. It is what it is. I'm going to keep it all the way real in this one, okay? You look at the Chargers side of the ball, they have so many offensive weapons, it's crazy. You got Phillip Rivers, clearly, one of the better quarterbacks in the league. Melvin Gordon, I think he's going to be a handful for the Jets to deal with, especially when he can come out the backfield and catch the football. Eckler's another guy they have behind Gordon, who's pretty deadly. He fumbles from time to time, but he's a guy that can come out the backfield, catch the football as well, has solid hands. He's also a very solid runner as well. I'm a bit worried about Keenan Allen as a Jets fan because, again, you look back at some of the teams that we faced that had a really solid, defined number one wide receiver, Demaryius Thomas, just absolutely abused, Morris Claiborne. Then you go to, Michael Thomas there with the Saints. He pretty much did what he wanted. For a couple drives. There were drives where the Saints were literally just throwing him the football pretty much the whole damn drive. and he did his thing. So I'm worried about the matchup of Allen and Claiborne out there, especially with Claiborne supposedly not playing at 100%, and he has a long history of, long injury history anyway, but if this is another game where he's not playing at 100% and he's still asked to cover the number one wide receiver, on the echelon of Keenan Allen, you got to wonder what's going on here. Gates is an old crafty tight end, one of the best tight ends to ever play the game. But again, he's in his later years, he may have lost a step, but damn it, he's still out there and he's still a solid and reliable target for Phillip Rivers. So I'm just a bit worried about the matchup of our defense with their offense. I know our safeties are going to be tested. This is another game where Adams and May are definitely going to be tested. We're probably going to try to use a 3-safety look against some of the things that they do. Tyrell Williams is another wide receiver that the Chargers have that I'm fearful of as well. He's a big guy. I think he's like 6'4", but he's fast. He's got hands. And often what Phillip Rivers likes to do with him is throw these jump balls. He'll just chuck it up there, and this guy will go and get it. So I'm worried about that. You look at the defensive side with the Chargers matched up against our offense. This is what gets me worried the most, and it's because our offensive line struggles so much just against average pass rushers. But guess what? The Chargers come in with, some of the best pass rushers in the game. You got Ingram on one side, and you got Joey Bosa on the other, man. You got Joey Bosa on the other side. This guy, he's coming in with, I think, like 11.5 sacks so far this season. He is an absolute monster out there. And I'm wondering, with this offensive line having the issues that they're having, Brian Winters is supposed to be out for this football game. Wesley Johnson's also dealing with an injury as well. I mean, he hasn't played well at all pretty much at any time this season anyway. So if he's out, who steps in? Is Dakota Dozier? Okay, if Dozier steps in for that, who steps into this right guard spot? Is it Quali? Is it, who is it? Who's going to take up that spot? So the offensive line is already starting to be hindered with injuries. Before it was bad play, now it's injuries. It's just so many issues. And you got two pass rushers with Bryce Petty starting, getting his second start for this season. Dude, if he gets some pressure barreling down on him, it could turn into turnovers really easily. It's just, I just got so many questions, man. So many questions because this Chargers defense can get after it, and it just can get it just can get really ugly for us early. So, with all that said, man, sadly, I am taking the Chargers to win this football game. I don't think it's a blowout. I think it ends up 23-17. I think the Chargers are a good football team. They're still trying to make their playoff push as well. They're still trying to win games down the stretch. But this pass rush, I think it's just going to get after it. And I think they'll just put just enough separation, into it where, hey, it is what it is, and they'll take the game away probably in like late third, going into the fourth, and put us away that way. So again, I am taking the Chargers to win this football game. So, guys, comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. And if I didn't cover your game, hey, let me know, what do you think about the matchup that you guys have this week. Happy holidays to everyone out there as well. Enjoy yourselves. Enjoy your time with your family. Watch your football. Have a happy holidays again to people. Do not drink and drive. Be safe out there, folks. A lot of, stuff going on around here. People, having a good time. And, again, be safe and have a good time with your family. So, have a good one, guys. Peace.